Hey guys, hope you're doing well. Today we're going to get into some Explain Like I'm 5 biology. Why do we forget things or lose memories over time? Hypothetically, once a memory is encoded into long-term memory, it is there forever. So when you can't remember something, it's not because it isn't there, but rather that you can't find your way back to that memory. Think about a memory like a cabin in a dense forest. If you visit that cabin often, there will be a well-worn path to get there and it's easy to find your way. But when you don't visit a memory often, the path becomes overgrown and harder to find. You may not be able to locate the cabin anymore. Now, even if we don't visit our cabin often, we can leave ourselves clues on how to get there. For instance, if you always have delicious smelling pies cooling on the windowsill of your cabin, you can use the smell and the path to get there. So even if the path is worn down, you're not completely lost. Is there a biological or chemical explanation for the physical pain of heartbreak? There are likely many contributing factors, one of which would be oxytocin withdrawal. Oxytocin is a neurotransmitter released when we're around or thinking about loved ones' positivity, especially if physical contact is involved. When separated for long periods, or when thinking about it, your levels of oxytocin can plummet, leading to withdrawal symptoms. As humans, our partners become vital when our brains identify someone as such. Losing them will cause pain, and the pathways for emotional pain are the same in the brain as the pathways for physical pain. Scientists say that we're in the midst of the sixth mass extinction. What type of species are actually dying off, and how can we be so sure of this? Most of the species are something we don't even notice, but which still have a role in the ecosystem. Small insects, plants, fungi, microbes, fish, plankton, and so on. For example, insects make up more than half of all known organisms. Fungi are estimated to be 1.5 to 5 million species and plants up to 350,000. As comparison, less than 12,000 bird and less than 6,000 mammal species are known. So the extinction mostly hits species we don't easily notice, but it affects all branches. If I'm programmed by evolution to be productive, why do I have such an incredible desire to be lazy, and then regret it? You're also programmed to conserve as much energy as possible in case of famine. I think traditionally, productivity came from necessity, not something that we like to do. We had to work hard or we would die. If you have everything you need to survive, then what motivation do you have to do anything? You're programmed by the last several thousand years of human society to be productive, but you're programmed by the last several billion years of evolution to be as conservative as possible with your energy. Why is it that certain sounds like rain or the constant noise of a fan seem relaxing and help some people fall asleep? Your brain responds more to changes. After a while, we become habituated to stimuli that stay constant, like the rhythmic sound of a fan. To understand this, think about the sensation of your clothes against your skin. When you first put them on, you notice it, but ordinarily you stop paying attention to it after a while unless you actively try to think about it. This is the same reason why dynamic environments are enriching for brain development. From an evolutionary perspective, it makes sense that it's a waste of energy to keep focusing on things that aren't changing. Being exposed to so many stimuli all at once, the brain focuses on what's most interesting. What is the purpose of tears or crying? No one really knows for sure. Tears are one of the few stress indicators that can't be hidden from others. You can practice keeping a straight face, you can practice breathing and composure, but for the most part, tears come unbidden. And this is a good thing. It signals to a group when another person has reached their emotional and physical pain threshold. It is so important that we as humans have to curb our children's crying tendencies. To teach them, we have stories about crocodile tears and crying wolf, and tell our children they need to guard against crying over spilt milk. Why is there more apparent variance between the faces of humans, to the point where the human face is instantly recognizable, than those of other species? This is a common misconception. For us, humans have diverse features which are instantly recognizable, but we're humans. which means that maybe we are good at telling each other apart because it's important for us to tell each other apart. There's a study performed on chimps to see if they were able to tell human faces apart. After all, we're instantly recognizable, aren't we? The chimps were presented with sets of faces and they tried to recognize the people in them. At the end, scientists found they were as good as guessing. If humans are so different, why aren't chimps doing it better than chance? After that, a similar study was performed, but this time they used chimp faces instead of human faces. To their surprise, chimps were instantly better, almost perfect at recognizing the faces of other chimps. This tells us that humans are good at recognizing humans and chimps are good at recognizing chimps, which makes sense. What is CBD oil and how does it work? CBD stands for cannabidiol. It's a cannabinoid, a chemical that acts on the cannabinoid receptors in your body, which affects neurotransmitters releasing in your brain. THC is the cannabinoid in marijuana that gets you high, but CBD is non-psychoactive, so it doesn't get you high in any way. Many people find it helpful for different medical conditions. If the oil is made from hemp and not marijuana, it can be sold legally in the US. Otherwise, it must be bought at a medical marijuana dispensary. CBD oil is made by extracting the CBD from either industrial hemp or marijuana, typically using liquid CO2. Does the human brain have a capacity limit? Is there a limit to the amount of knowledge, memory, and data that a single brain can contain? Human memory is like a leaky bucket. You can keep pouring in water and wonder, how is this bucket not overflowing? It's easy to have the appearance of limitless memory when forgetting is not taken into account. We're constantly forgetting things, which makes room for new memories. Human memory is a marvelous machine. It reuses the same pathways to give the appearance of distinct memories. Thus, memories are compact. You don't have to save a copy of your house every time you make a new memory in your house. You just reference the house in your memory. Can you explain the physiology of that butterflies in your stomach feeling? That feeling comes from our fight or flight instinct. Your body senses that you're nervous, that's fear, for something coming up. And as a natural response from the fear, your body begins preparing itself for the potential of fighting or flight. It sends more blood to the more important areas of your body, like your muscles in your arms, abs, and legs, so that if you have to fight or flee, you can in a better way. The butterfly feeling is what happens when blood is rushed away from your stomach area, simply put.